The multiplication property of equality states, if we multiply or divide both sides of an equation by the same non-zero number, we get an equivalent equation. Our equation is A equals B. We could multiply the same non-zero number C to both sides. That would give us an equivalent equation. Or if we had A equals B, we could divide both sides by the same non-zero number C and produce an equivalent equation. The inverse property of multiplication states the product of a number and its reciprocal is 1. For example, 5 times its reciprocal, which is 1/5, that equals 1. Also, the product of a term and its reciprocal is 1. 2x times 1 divided by 2x is equal to 1. Solve the equation 9x equals 54, then check the solution. We're going to take our equation 9x equals 54, and because x is being multiplied with 9, the inverse operation of multiplication is division. We will divide both sides by 9. And 9 divided by 9 is 1 times x, which we can simply write as x. And 54 divided by 9 is 6. So our solution is x equals 6. We check by taking this value of 6, replacing it in for x, remembering that 9x means 9 times x, so 9 times 6 equals 54. Is that a true statement? It is indeed. So x equals 6 is the solution. Solve the equation negative y equals 16, then check the solution. It helps to understand that negative y is equivalent to saying negative 1 times y. So the equation could be interpreted as negative 1 times y equals 16. To solve this equation for y, we look at this multiplication symbol and we will apply the inverse operation of multiplication, which is division. We will divide both sides of the equation by this coefficient here, by negative 1. Divide by negative 1. Negative 1 divided by 1 is simply 1. So we have 1 times y, or more simply, just y. And 16 divided by negative 1 is negative 16. So this is the solution. Y equals negative 16. Now to check, we take this negative 16, put it right back in here for y. Notice that there is a minus sign and then the y. And the y is a negative 16. So we have the minus sign or negative sign of negative 16 equals 16. Well, that is true. A negative of a negative, or opposite of a negative, however you want to say it. It's positive 16. We get a true statement, which means that y equals negative 16 is indeed the solution. Solve the equation negative 96 equals negative 4a, then check the solution. Because negative 4a means negative 4 times a, we will apply the inverse operation of multiplication, which is division, dividing both sides of this equation by this coefficient negative 4. And negative 4 divided by negative 4 is 1, so we have 1 times a, or more simply a. And then negative 6 divided by negative 4, first of all, negative divided by negative is positive. I know 100 divided by 4 is 25. This 96 is one less multiple of 4. Double check on a calculator, but 96 divided by 4 is 24. Let's check. We have negative 96 equals negative 4 times a. And in place of this a is going to go 24. Do we have a true statement? Is negative 96 equal to negative 4 times 24? And the answer is indeed yes. So 24 is the solution. Solve the equation a divided by 5 equals 7. In this case, the variable a is being divided by 5. What is the inverse operation of division? The answer is multiplication. So we'll multiply both sides of this equation by 5. And this 5 divided by this 5, that gives us 1. So we have a times 1, which is simply a. And on the other side, we have 7 times 5, which is 35. So we have a equals 35, and that is the solution. We will check by taking this 35, putting it right up here for a. So that will read 35 divided by 5. Is that equal to 7? Yes, it is. We have a true statement, which means that a equals 35 is the solution. Solve the equation negative 1.2w equals 6. We recall that negative 1.2w means negative 1.2 times w. So we have negative 1.2 times w equals 6. And we will undo that multiplication in order to solve for w through the inverse operation of multiplication, which is division. We will divide both sides of the equation by negative 1.2. Negative 1.2 divided by negative 1.2, that gives us 1. We have 1 times w. In other words, w. And 6 divided by negative 1.2, we can use a calculator for that. If we just want to type in 6 divided by 1.2, it might look like this on the calculator. The calculator will give us 5. Positive divided by negative is negative. So our answer is w equals negative 5. Solve the equation 3/4 x equals 12. We're going to solve this by two different methods. Here in the first method, we will first undo this division of 4 through its inverse, which is multiplying both sides of the equation by 4. Multiply by 4, multiply by 4. 4 divided by 4 gives us 1. So we have 1 times 3x equals, and 1 times 3 is 3, so we have 3x equals, and then 12 times 4 is 48. Secondly, we undo multiplication by 3 through the inverse of multiplying, which is division. We will divide both sides by 3. 3 divided by 3 is 1. 1 times x, or more simply x. And 48 divided by 3 is 16. So our solution is x equals 16. Another way to solve the same equation when a fraction is multiplied to the variable is to multiply both sides of this equation by the reciprocal of this fraction. Reciprocal is 4/3. So we will multiply both sides of this equation by 4/3. And we know that any fraction times its reciprocal gives us the value of 1. So we have 1 times x, or more simply x, equals, and then we have 12 times 4/3. 12 is a whole number, so we can write 12 divided by 1 times 4/3. The rule for multiplying fractions is to multiply through the numerators. 12 times 4, that gives us 48. We also multiply through the denominators. 1 times 3 is 3. So we have 48 divided by 3. And 3 goes into 48. 16 times. So our solution is 16.